Okay, so we're going to work on the transition on the second line this week. I wanted to show you how the melody repeats itself with a slight variation, and the connection between that main phrase is the part that's kind of goofy. And then it ends a little differently too. So yeah, if you think of the phrase as being and everything after, it happens twice for the full line before you repeat the whole thing again, if that makes sense. And each phrase has a different ending. So the first one we did last time, we went through it and we landed on these. It's not a pinch, but our M and I notes are playing the C and the A together on the first measure of the second line. And here we are. Okay, now there's the next two notes are part of the second beat. It didn't have an eighth note on it, but that low A and the E should be eighth notes. So you have you're gonna have the two and would be two and. Okay, thumb thumb, A E. Okay, thumb thumb. All right, and then it starts over again on the E D sharp, just like that again. So if you just work on that little measure right there over and over again, it should help a little bit. So your first and second finger are playing C and A, okay, and then you play the open to A, second finger moves up to E, and then E, D sharp, okay? You can play it at a time, it's totally cool to get the hang of it. All right, and then once it starts to sound like you get the hang of it, I want you to play it in time. 1, 2, and 3, and 1, 2, and 3, and like that. Nice, Dean. Sorry. 1. Okay? Work on that over and over again so that feels good. Once you get that, you should be able to keep playing that phrase from there. Okay? So if you went. And then that part feels exactly, sorry, I'm shaking this video. It feels exactly the same as what you did before, okay? So that's the first thing that feels different. It's the transition between playing that part, the part in between the thing there. I can't talk. Anyway, so then you move on from that melody. This part is exactly the same when you roll through that, right? That's exactly the same as when you played it the first time. What changes this time is where before we went, I hope you can see this, before where we went, looking to the bottom of this thing, we went the E, G sharp on the first time through. This time when we go to do that, it's going to be a little different. It's a little different here. Instead of going E, E, G sharp, B, we're going to go E, E, and then pull off C to B, and then go to A. That's what we're going to work on next. So the beginning of the third line there, okay? You're going to go from, we just finished off with this, at the end of that second line, we finished off with where we had our second finger, we play that pattern where it's like a chord. And that's where we are at B. You just heard ringing, is part of that arpeggio. And now we're on we just played the first beat of the third line. This is the transition we're going to work on next. You're going to play low E, second finger E, okay? And then take your first finger and pull off C, B, second finger plays A. Okay? Let's do that again. So I think it's helpful to go back a little bit and go back to the end of the second line and play this pattern where we go from. I just think that's the context you want to be in, okay? I'm playing. That puts us on the B. That's the first beat of the third line. And then we're going to play E, low E, sorry, and then middle E. And then first finger is going to pull off. Notice I just did that with my middle finger because I want to play A with my first finger on this line. So that, you know, if you work on that a couple times, it might be kind of cool. You're going to go M finger, I. There's the pull off, M, I. Isn't that cool? All right, and last note, just an A. That's it. So put that together. 3 and 1, 2. Okay? Now the two notes before that were the E, E, so you're going to go E, E. There's Emmy Lou. Sorry, I got distracted by the brown cat. Sorry, let's do that again. E, E, C, B, A. Okay? All I want you to do this week is get to that point. Those two transition parts are the important parts. Work on those transitions, iron them out, and then get to the point where you can play that whole line, basically, to here, all the way through, and just stop at that A. Okay? Then once you start feeling really awesome, then try and do the repeat. But let's just work on feeling comfortable with this thing, and then work on the transitions, and then you'll be good. Any questions with that? Let me know. Have a good one.